Guys? Oh, okay. Are you guys excited? Wow, so you're excited. We got one. Oh my gosh, is this loud? Is it just me? Super loud and cutting out? Okay. All right, let's try this. Test. Better? Here, let me just bring down the lapel. Test. Even better? Okay. All right, I'm gonna tell you about me in just a second, but let's talk about, oh, does that beep? Let's talk about you. I got a picture. We're gonna talk about pictures. Let's talk about you. Let's start here. Tell me your name, how long you've been in the business.
Rodney, yeah.
Oh, Rodney. You just got cultural, no, what did you get? Rookie, that's right. You're the Rodney. Whoa. Oh, all right. Thanks for being here.
So I got my license in February.
Okay. Awesome. So that's, it's like a month, not even a month. Oh, a year ago. I see. I was like, you realize it's February, right? Okay, so a year. Okay, you.
I'm Caden.
Caden, okay.
And I have my license for 2
Nice.
over or just under.
Fresh meat.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Let's go back. Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay. Okay. So you're a veteran. Just kidding. In the back. Tell me about you. Almost a year. Okay. Hi, Todd. I'm Josh. Nice to meet you too. Let's go here.
My name's Larry. I've had my license for probably 2 months and been here for 2 months.
Okay. I've seen you around. Yeah. You show up. Okay. How long have you had your license? Just barely. Oh, you don't have a license. Even better. Oh, are you her TC? Yeah. Tell us about you.
My name is Viviana, and I've been in the business for like 6 years, around 6 years. Only 2 kilograms since August.
Yeah, she's rocking it. Viviana's a big deal. And that's spelled with a B, but is it pronounced with a V?
That's Viviana.
Viviana. Okay. All right. Let's talk about me for just a sec. This is a little bit about me. The summary is I transitioned to real estate in 2018, but I started buying houses in 2015. I was the director of lead gen of Frampton real estate team. And then I was actually the director of agent services and tech for the brokerage. So when Command sucked, I taught everybody how to use Command, which was like the best job ever. Just kidding. It was actually really fun. And the end of 2020, when Peter stole me from the office, there's Peter, everybody say hi to Peter. And now I run Peter's team in the back end. Peter runs Peter's team, but I run the back end of Peter's team. When he shows up, yeah, that's right. It's like what, twice a month now? We're stepping up, we're getting there. Just kidding. Yeah. You guys excited to talk about marketing? I have a BS in, that's hilarious. I have a bachelor's in communications from BYU, but I've done a lot of marketing in my history, but really most of my marketing experience is applied in real estate. And I found that when as a marketing manager, so VSI was an MLM company, and anyway, I did not love working there, but I learned a lot, and I found myself mostly looking at real estate while I was there. So here I am, happy to be here. Let's talk about, we're gonna go through these slides pretty quickly, but before we jump into slides, what do you guys wanna learn? What do you want more walkthroughs? Do you wanna know what we do? Okay. Best practices, what else? Give me ideas.
Systems.
Systems, okay, perfect. I'm gonna literally show you the systems that we've built out. What else? Best practices and systems. It's okay if that's it. Nothing else? A 36 touch. I'll show you our 36 touch. By the way, the actual word 36 touch is old news, just so everybody knows. Well, not 72, but like 36 is too small, right? If you're only reaching out to your people 36 times a year, you are losing to the competition of everybody else who's reaching out to your people. It's more than 36. 36 is a good baseline. But Gary Keller came out after he posted 36. I've got like, this is going to sound gross, but anyway, it's like the worst. I'm sorry that it's that gross you out, but if you like, if I start stuttering or something, or like have to stop talking for a second to take a breath, it's bugging me so bad. That's happening. Okay, so before we dive into marketing, you guys have kind of talked about prospecting, but this is how your business should be built upon. Prospecting based and marketing. Does anybody know what the word is? And heads, yeah. You guys are not rookies here. Carl's doing a good job. So prospecting based meaning, give me some ideas. What does prospecting mean? What do you do when you prospect? How? Because you're always trying to find leads. Yeah, so throw them out. How do you prospect? What is, like, give me an example of prospecting. Yes. Yes, okay, yeah, I'll allow it. Prospecting, social media. I'm not gonna write that down. There is no one. Yeah, what the heck? All right. Hey, Peter, when you go up, will you give me a marker? Oh, you're grabbing one? You're awesome. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so social media, what else? There's a really obvious one I'm just waiting for. Door knocking's one, okay. Cold calling, right? Basically, like, prospecting is your now efforts of trying to get a hold of somebody, right? Like right now, when you say Facebook, I don't think of posting a post. I think of direct messaging when I think of prospecting. Does that make sense? Because you are actively trying to get business now and you're reaching out to people. It's proactive. It's time intensive because you're having long conversations, but oftentimes you can get immediate results. With marketing, you pretty much never get immediate results, right? Marketing is a lot more money intensive. We'll talk about that, long-term results and passive. So let's talk about, what's the next slide? Okay, well, we'll just look at this really quick before we move away from it. So here's some example. So some things fall into the middle, but down here, phone calls, face-to-face, circle prospecting, teaching and speaking opportunities. Look, I'm prospecting right now. Yeah, just kidding. Booths, kiosks, walk-ins, you know, this is face-to-face. You're actually having conversations with people constantly. This is how much time should you spend doing this every day? Just guess what the red book says. Do you know what the red book says? You do. Are we talking minutes? Are we talking hours? Yeah, I think it's 3. I think that's what the red book says. I think it says 3 hours. How many of you spend 3 hours prospecting every day? Raise your hand. It's okay. Most people don't. But if you really want to excel in the business, this is like the key point. At some point, people will start coming to you if you stay in the business long enough, right? But even then, you're still prospecting. Peter, how much time do you spend prospecting every day?
Probably 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So it's not a crazy amount, but the fact that he makes time to prospect 45 minutes to an hour while he's doing 70 deals a year or whatever Peter does, right?
For me, it's more about how many people do I speak with.
Yeah. Yeah. Any questions on this? Does this make sense? We're not going to talk about prospecting, but I want you to understand the importance of prospecting, okay? Your business is based off of prospecting, not what I'm going to teach you, okay? Now, what I'm going to teach you is going to help your business significantly because it's going to be the side stuff. I don't prospect personally, and I still do 6 deals a year because, or more, because I market myself. People are in our marketing plan. Does that make sense? I don't even try at this point. I mean, I've been in the industry for like 3 or 4 years, but like, and that helps, right? Because people now see me and they think real estate. But if I were to prospect, I could probably get a lot more. All right, so let's see this in action. So let's start here actually. This is our budget, okay? So our budget plan for 2022 is our GCI goal is 2 million.
Can you make it bigger?
Yeah.
See that there.
This is really all you need to see. This is pretty much based off of the red book. So our GCI goal is 2 million, which is about 177 deals, something like that. We commit certain amounts to salaries, to lead gen, education and coaching, but this is really what I want you to take note of. You, like any team or any organization, need to set aside a chunk of your income from every deal to do your marketing. Does that make sense? The standard is about 9%. We do 8% because we're trying to slim down a little bit. But if I go into our lead gen budget, it breaks it down here. So 10% of that 8% goes to events. We do a thing called banner season, referrals. We split it up. This is Peter's farming, so on and so forth. Any questions about that? This seems like such a minor detail, but if you're not budgeting a portion of your income, it's going to feel heavy every time you have to pay $50 to do ads. Does that make sense? Or $100 or $1,000 or whatever you want to do ads or mailers or whatever it is, or go buy a sign. But if you know that only 50% of your income is actually going into your pocket, then it feels a lot less heavy. Then you're paying for things like the computer that you needed that whole time, or if crap hits the fan, or your client needs a refrigerator and you forgot that, you know, it was your job to negotiate the refrigerator and you forgot. So now you need $1,000 to buy another. That's not how much refrigerators cost anymore. You need $4,000 to buy a refrigerator. Just kidding. So like, for example, we budget for that. We have 1% of our total income is called the rainy day fund for the refrigerator incidents, right? Things like that. So budget's important. That's my summary. Any questions on budget? You guys feel good about this?
If you're a solo agent, I would just take, 8 to 10%
Yeah.
for GCI and just put it aside and use that for marketing.
Yep.
Lead with revenue.
Lead with revenue. Yep. And unless you have deals that give you money to do marketing, you don't pay for it because you don't have revenue. Does that make sense? What are you doing if you're not paying for marketing? He knows. Prospecting. We are prospecting based, marketing enhanced. Okay. If we can't afford to market, then we're prospecting. That make sense? Feel good? I mean, you can market for free avenues. There's plenty of avenues that are free that you can market from, right? But anyway, okay, we're going to leave the budget. So let's talk about our 36 touch plan. So this is our prospecting based. So here's our prospecting that we expect our agents to do. Marketing enhanced plan. So I'll show you the marketing side. But we do 4 or 5 events every year. I think this year we're doing 5. So we have a Valentine's Day event, which is hilarious. It's today. We did not plan that well. So we already had someone come like 4 hours early. So we have Valentine's Day event today. We have we're booking on an IMAX for Harry Potter, Linden Aquatic Center. Like as a team, like we do bigger events. But with Kelloween, we're booking out Kelloween, but we're also providing pumpkin carving kits for that as well, right? And then we're doing pies for November. But like Kelloween is something that you guys can do easily because it's amount of tickets based. Does that make sense? Like you're not booking out the venue. This is something that KW Westfield, this is an event that KW Westfield holds. They book out the venue and you order as many tickets as you need to that venue. That makes sense? It's like $5 or $6 a piece. And so if your budget is $50, you buy 10 tickets and you give it to your top people. That makes sense? And at this event, they get a free pumpkin. They get to go on hay rides and corn mazes. It's pretty awesome. So KW does, I think, 2 events every year. One's in June-ish, one's in September. And we usually go along with Kelloween as a team. Okay. So that's events. We do pop buys. So we have found that Popeyes, and on a marketing perspective, is one of the most like not lucrative. What's the word I'm looking for?
The highest leverage activity. we do.
Highest leverage activity we do. Meaning that it's kind of a combination of prospecting and marketing at the same time, right? Because when you pop by at their house and you say, hey, just in the neighborhood, I have an ice scraper for you, or it's a branded ice scraper with our phone number. You don't say that, but it is, right? Girl Scout cookies. We order Girl Scout cookies from our SOI, and then we give it to our SOI. Does that make sense? Sunscreen, branded sunglasses, that's our linen. So we're gonna drop these by before we have a pool party. Does that make sense? Back to school haircuts, we're gonna team up with a haircutting salon and allow like 2 free haircuts or something per client. Like give a little gift certificate. They go in. If they use it, then we pay for it. Does that make sense? But if they don't use it, then it's not a lost cost. It's only if they use it does the hair salon bill us. Does that make sense?
The touch of the invitation.
But yeah, all of these are just touches that are invitations. Sorry, keep going. Okay. Pumpkin carving kit, Christmas Popeyes. We don't know what this looks like yet. We're kind of debating what that looks like. We've talked about ornaments. We talked about like a picture with Santa. We don't know yet. Anyway, any questions about Popeyes? I'm just trying to spark some ideas. This is what we do. It's totally dependent. We have a budget for it. So whatever fits in our budget. It's a total number budget. And then per agent, we kind of distribute from there. So usually Peter will get 60% of the Popeyes-ish, right? Because his database is, 4,000 people, while the rest of the people are in the 700s or 400s or wherever it might be, right?
And we don't like Popeyes are great because you Popeye the people most likely to give you a referral.
Yes.
I'm not gonna Popeye to that one guy I knew one time that I met in an open house 3 months ago. I'm gonna Popeye to the lady down the street who's given me 4 referrals in the last 2 years, just to stay top of mind. Every time we do Popeyes probably quarterly.
Something like that, yep.
Always take or something.
Yep. So in our team, usually best practice for data. Oh, wow, this is amazing. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, it's a great question. You never know who's going to give you referrals. Sometimes family is the worst with giving you referrals, right? And so at that point, you just kind of have to like pick your poison and stick to it. That's my opinion. And so you pick, like, we have a top 50. So the way we structure our people is top 50. Oh my gosh, writing left-handed on a whiteboard is the worst. We have a top 50, and then there's basically everybody else. Does that make sense? So if they're not in your top 50, then they get tons of marketing, but they're not the ones that are getting the Popeyes as much. Does that make sense? And so you're going to have to decide, like, what does this look like? Every team and every person probably ranks these different. There's ABC. There's Red Sign does top 200. Becca's team does, like, I can't remember. It's like the Elite 70 or something. I can't remember. Anyway, so we do top 50. But you're just going to have to pick 20 or 25 people and just kind of like tell them. That's the other thing with the top 50 program or these Popeyes is you're having that conversation with them. Hey, you're one of my top people. Anytime you think of somebody or you hear of somebody wanting to buy or sell, I'd love to be the first person that comes in your mind. Just put me on a group text with them. Just say, hey, this is an agent I was telling you about. They're pretty good. Don't say they're pretty good. Right? But that conversation, right? You've had that actual conversation with them, so they know they're in your top 50. They know what that means and what your expectation is for them. Okay, that could be your best friend. That could be your in-law. My grandparents refuse to buy with an agent, and they've probably sold like 4 properties since I've been an agent, just FSBO, right? Which is fine, and they love me, and I've gotten referrals from one of them, but sometimes your family isn't the ones that want to refer. They're the old time people that like, I can do everything myself. That's their generation. That's fine. Any questions about this?
So if you go brand new, I would maybe look at your database, everyone you put in there, like literally just put anyone you can think of. And then say who's most likely to, I think, give me a based on how well I know them and how well they know me. If I bumped into them in Costco and they dry up, they should probably be in the top 50.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and also if they know who you are and they want to have a conversation with you because they like you as well. I would add to that because sometimes you bump into somebody and they're like, hey, like you're that demon that beat me in church basketball. Just kidding. Okay, so emails, mailers. We send out mailers. We send out a monthly email. I'll show you everything about that in a little bit. We also do something called slide broadcast. So we encourage and we expect our agents to call their people quarterly, but we don't want to depend on that. And so slide broadcast is a really cool thing where you can pay per call and they will call your client and leave a voicemail. So they'll call for like 1 second and hang up and leave a voicemail. It's like an automated thing and you can pre-record that voicemail. So something we did before was we did a New Year's voicemail, for example. That's what that was. This is probably the most effective thing we've done all year so far. And basically the voicemail, all it said was, hey, it's Josh. Just wanted to say Happy New Year. Just want to be the first to say Happy New Year to you guys. Hope you're doing great. That's literally all it said. And then we probably have under contract 2 or 3 deals from that call alone as a team. That makes sense?
I'm still getting business from it. Like, I just know that
Yeah.
The kind of the leads that came in January and February, I'm like, oh wow, I'm grateful like this. I'm like, I haven't spoken to them. Oh wait, they got a voicemail from me. I haven't spoken to them in a while.
Yeah. Because what happens is they see that, they hear your voicemail that's completely non-threatening and they call you back, right? And they say, hey, Josh, I missed your call. I'm so sorry I missed your call. Oh yeah, it was just a New Year's call. I just wanted to say Happy New Year. How are you guys? Oh, great, I'm doing good. They start that conversation. You're not forward calling people. Everybody knows what the forward method is, right? So you don't have to forward call people because they're calling you. And then you're having that dialogue. It just makes your prospecting life a little bit easier as well. Okay. So it's called slide broadcast. Slide broadcast. I think it's like 60 cents a call. So as a team, I think we spent $1,000 to call like 4,000 people or something. I can't remember. Like it was like a stupid cheap solution to make sure that we called all of our people.
Josh, can you say the name again?
Slide broadcast. And let me be clear about something as we go through our 36 touch. What's the most important thing about a 36 touch? What's the most important thing you can do? This is a trick question. Consistency. Yes, you've been in one of my classes before. The most important thing that you can do with marketing is be consistent. I don't care what you do. Like I'm giving you ideas of what we do. This is not best practice, right? Your best practice might be like, I need to Facebook message, or I need to post on Facebook, or I need to, I don't know. There's like a billion things that you can do. It's less about what you do and more about doing it consistently. Does that make sense? Okay. It's probably the most important thing you can learn in this class. Let's see here, slide broadcast. So we'll do it for daylight savings. That's what that is. We'll do it for certain events. So we're doing it for the Harry Potter one. We'll probably do it for the pie giveaway and Halloween. Yeah. So this is 38 touches just from our 36 touch. But then when we add prospecting, which is 23, we expect to be in contact with our clients. What is that? 61 times a year-ish. Does that make sense? And this is just, they delivered the pop by, right? And had that conversation with them. They came to the event because you gotta remember, when you have an event, ideally, how many touches do you have per event? 3 touches. You said 2 and then 3, perfect. So because you're inviting them, right? That's 1. But after you invite them, if you're using a good system like Eventbrite, for example, we love Eventbrite. It's free. Use Eventbrite. It's like the best thing ever. Then it sends a reminder the day before, right? Because if they signed up for it, and then there's the actual day of the event where you talk with them. Now, if they don't get these 2, oh my gosh, why are all these pens garbage? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the ceiling. Don't tell anybody. If you if they don't come to these events, I don't think so. Are they sure these are brand new? See, that one's good. If they don't come to these two, then you're having that call of, hey, I want to make sure that you got my invite if they didn't sign up, or we just had the event and we missed you. That makes sense, especially if they signed up and didn't come. Okay.
Another thing, we've got that event today. And so if we have 80% of people come and 20% of people don't show, like they signed up, but they forgot, we got busy, we'll use Popeyes with the flesh.
Yeah.
So that's a great way to get face to face, and then they feel like you've gone the extra mile.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so it's event specific. So what he's talking about, we're doing a reverse Popeye today, which is where we have something and they come to us instead of us going to them. And so if it's a reverse Popeye, that makes it easy, right? Because what we're doing is we're doing 12 dozen flowers. No, not 12, a dozen flowers. That'd be awesome. Or a gift card to Cold Stone. So they can choose which one they want and come get it from us. But if they don't show up, then we'll go give it to them. That make sense? Yeah. Okay. Any questions so far? Is this helpful? Okay. To answer your question before you have to go, what's her name again? No, not Amy. Mariah. Yes. Sorry. I should have remembered your name. To answer your question before you have to go, one of my favorite marketing payments that we've ever done, I'm going to show you this really quick. You can just Google this. That's how I would do it. Okay. But in Facebook, well, actually, you can't even be in here. So there's two sides of Facebook. There is Ads Manager, which is like your basic ads. And then there's Ad Center. So if I go into my business page, I can go to Ad Center. But then there's Ads Manager, which is different. It's a little bit more like in depth. From Ads Manager, you can take your list of emails from your database and target them in ads specific to them. So we run ads as a team to all of our database. Let me show you that. Ads Manager, Facebook. So it's going to be in the business section of Facebook. There it is. It's the dark side of Facebook. Just kidding. So Ads Manager. This looks like way more confusing than it is. Literally just Google it. Just Google target custom email list in Ads Manager. Google that and find a YouTube video. It'll be 2 minutes long and it will walk you through step by step how to do this. Okay. But the key is knowing that you can do it, right? So if you go in here, I can go into our SOI test. I made it a test because I wanted to make sure it worked, but let's look at mine here. So let's go to edit. This is what it looks like. Literally all it says is curious about buying, selling, or building a home. I've got your back. I'm just a click away. That's all it says. It's got my number there. It's got Peter's picture because he'll probably be the one that helps them the most. Anyway, super simple. I made that image in Canva. I took that picture of the house on the right. Guess where I got it from? Can anybody guess? Not from the MLS. Don't take pictures from the MLS that aren't yours. Pexels. Yes, this is going to be your best friend. Go to Pexel. Does it have an S.com? So when you make marketing materials, yeah, so Pexels.com is a free professional photography website where you can go in and get an image of houses, of kitchens, of whatever you're advertising, of dogs, and use it for your stuff without getting sued. That make sense? Pexels.com. It's an S. We spend $1 a day on our SOI. So we spend $365 per agent a year, except for Peter. We spend more on Peter because he's the boss. Yes. So the email that you have for them has to be the email they use for Facebook. So that's a trick. It's not a perfect solution. Does that make sense? And so it's possible that you'll be targeting some random Facebook account or no Facebook account. Does that make sense? So it's not a perfect solution, but probably 60 to 70% of the emails that you'll have at least are tied to a Facebook account in some way. Because people are pretty consistent with emails oftentimes.
And I think to answer your question directly, if you have their email and you create a custom list, and that's the email they used, you don't have to be their Facebook.
Yeah, you don't have to be their Facebook friend. Yeah. Because this is running from a business page, which is a public page. Any questions? Is this helpful? Okay. I'm going to ask you that like 40 times. So as soon as I'm not being helpful, then just tell me to shut up, please. Okay. Where did I want to go from here? I think I was going to go into.
Josh, are you allowed to share that calendar of your advice and events and all that?
If you email me, I will send you a view-only copy of our 36 touch. That seem fair? So it's admin. I'll write down. If you see anything in these slides that you want more of, then just let me know. Admin at petermerkel.com. See, when my pen works, I feel like my handwriting's better. It's about time I could read something you write. That's funny. All right, sorry, I took notes on how I wanted to go from here. I want to make sure I'm not. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? My plan right now is to take a quick 5-minute break, and then we're going to go into actually building things like emails and Facebook posts, things like that. That seem fair? Okay, let's take a 5-minute break. Oh wait, did everybody get my email? All right, I'm erasing everything. I should put a timer on my slides. 5-minute timer. What was I thinking? That's good marketing. What did I do here? Oh, I was going to go through this one too. Please. Yeah.
But
You're good.
Do you talk just about Facebook before I come, or you?
No, we'll dive more into Facebook next.
Yeah, but before that I come, you did another.
We didn't talk hardly anything about Facebook yet. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the automatization.
Oh yeah, we haven't done any
And
automation
you
or,
do this time?
and I'll do it after the break.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, coming up.
Good timing. Yeah, we spent the first 20 minutes of class taking a quick nap, just to make sure everybody was rejuvenated. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Josh talking about himself.
That's right. I took a nap. Did you talk to Shoni? Wait, you did?
I did, but it wasn't.
It wasn't good? He said no?
Since like Timothy and Johnny,
Okay.
but it's just like we talked about, like they don't do it for anyone else, so it's free for them to do for us.
Yeah.
And the other thing was just so that we use the vendors to help us pay for the material.
Yeah. I knew you would go down that route. Yeah, it's hard because they do only have a certain amount. And if they open one door, then it might open others. It does. But it doesn't help us, but you know, it makes sense.
guess when we talk to the vendors that they want to do the classes, we just have to tell them they want to achieve with the marketing stuff. And we can put their logo on it.
Yeah. One like dinner and stuff.
Which is different vendors so that they don't get tired of it. They won't because they're gonna get business too.
Yeah.
So I need the computer for the next.
You don't need a computer, but if you have one, that would be useful.
Having my car, so
Okay, great. Mailbox power? Yes. Yeah, it used to be called banner season. That's why it's still up there as banner season. I'm lazy and I haven't changed it yet. Do you use mailbox power? Wow. It's freaking awesome, huh? We took off so much of that though. We were spending like shipment and we were like, why are we doing this? So we changed it to like 80. We took off a lot, but still just as effective.
Even just setting it up for my birthday campaign, just for cards right now,
Oh yeah,
that's perfect.
yeah, that is perfect.
Why can we not do this in Boomtown?
Well, and the mindset, wait, Boomtown, do you use Boomtown?
I'm on Redsign right now.
You're on Red Sign? What have you done? Just kidding. I like Red Sign. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I just give people crap big on Red Sign because I'm so buddy with Red Sign. I tried, I asked Red Sign to hire me and they said no. They couldn't afford me. That's okay.
You're too expensive.
No, it's not that. But I was in that weird transition period where I was like, what am I gonna do after I was director of tech? Anyway, but I was doing marketing for Red Sign for like months before as like a side job. So anyway, what were we talking about before I went on that rabbit hole? Mailbox power. Mailbox power is awesome. Oh, Boomtown. Yeah.
Can't do anything date related.
Yeah.
It'll tell you like.
Chime.
advance of everybody's birthday, but
Well, and the mindset, I've been telling Command to build out things like Boomtown into Command. Because like, think of how powerful that would be as a campaign. I mean, they've got mailers in there. Like, let's partner with a Boomtown type person. And like, that's like a game changer right there. If we can automate that through Command, like, exactly. Command's built out to be awesome. One day I'll use Command. You know what's funny is I taught Command for like a year and I don't use Command. That's what's funny. That's the irony of it. Command's not built for teams. That's why. We use Chime, but Command's not really built to be super effective, especially like with websites and stuff. Like Command's kind of in the infant stage for teams with that. But as a solo agent, I would use Command all day, every day. Like even if you're on Incline, I would still use Command because that's less of like a team structure and more of like, we'll give you the foundation, but you are your own person kind of thing, right?
One of my favorite things about the mailbox power is the fact that it will check for duplicates.
Yeah,
And doesn't do that.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
What's mailbox power?
Can't be that difficult.
Should we talk about mailbox power with that plugin? Just kidding. Mailbox power is another thing that you can use. So mailbox power will send something on a regular basis according to what you have it be. And you can choose what it is too. So like, for example, when someone closes as a buyer and we have their new address, we add them to mailbox power and they get things every quarter from us, like a tape measure that's branded and a cup. I mean, not a cup, a water bottle, like a nice, what are they called? Like thermal, whatever. Anyway, there's a word, hydro flask. You said it, didn't you? Like a hydro flask kind of water bottle. Okay. Anyway, and then like cups and things like that, right? Like things that they would like to have around the house probably, and if they don't, then they'll throw it away. But they'll see us, you know, and it's great. They have brownies and treats and stuff, or they have birthday cards. You can create your own cards, brand them however you want, and then put people on a campaign where every time on their birthday they'll be sent that card. So it's pretty cool. Mailbox power. I mean, it's not cheap, but it's effective. So if you're less worried about I mean, like, how much does it cost to send birthday cards? Like $2 or something? The card is 50 cents. But do you know how much shipping is?
No, it's just the custom stamp.
So it's like $1. So like you have an automated birthday plan for $1 per year per person, which is awesome. That's worth it, right?
They have it where you can set it up and have a second to go out on the half birthday.
You know what we don't do as a team? Birthdays. You know what we should do as a team? Birthdays.
4 touches. Shoni has a plan on command, 4 touches. So you send a card a week before, you call the day before, and then a social media and a text the day of the birthday.
Yeah, I don't like that, but that's okay. It's a great plan. It feels like if that was my birthday and I got all of those things on my birthday, I would feel like this is too much. But that's me. That's my personality. All right, we're gonna move on. Everybody good? We all got a break. Anybody want to stand up and do jumping jacks together? Coordinated? No? Okay. Yes, go. Go. 1. Good. Okay. All right. So Ignite had all these questions, and we can talk about them, but the one I really want to talk about was this one. Was it that one? Wait, go back. Well, these two. How do you communicate your value proposition? Where's my laser pointer? How do you communicate your value proposition, and how can you come from contribution or connect in a meaningful way? When you are doing marketing, talk to me about this. How do you communicate your value proposition? Do you guys have value proposition? Do you have any value at all? Just kidding. No? Okay, well, everybody leave. Just kidding. No, guys, you do have value proposition. Let me show you my value proposition. This is how I brand myself. Like I post on Facebook once or twice, no, 3 or 4 times a week, right? So like every day kind of. And I get so much business from it. So usually it's like my wife is out on a trip right now with all of her sisters. And so I took all the girls to, I have 3 girls. And I took them all to the movies and it was nuts. My brother-in-law is looking to adopt. So every once in a while I'll throw in something where it's like, I am currently building an investment property and it's super weird because I'm building 2 houses at once. I'm building my house, my personal house, and I'm building an investment property. And I've been to my house like 40 times. Like I know most of my neighbors. I'm in contact on a weekly basis with the listing agent. I mean, with the building agent. The building agent? What is it? The builder's agent, whatever. I think that was a weird way to say that. Anyway, so I've done all of these things, but like I keep forgetting what floor plan I have for this condo. That's my investment property. Like I'm not involved with that at all. I have no idea when it will be done. I don't know where like the location on the map is. I don't even know where this building complex is. Like I know it's in Spanish Fork, and I know it's near Walmart, but that's all I know. Oh, really? Well, there you go. She knows where it is. So like, and I have people that are also building in this investment property that do know all this stuff, but like, that's a story. And so I told that story. And guess how many people reached out to me about this post alone? 2. That's not like a crazy amount, but I had 2 people reach out to me that said, let's go get lunch. I'd love to hear more about this. That make sense? And I've been doing this for like a year. Like my wife finally gave me permission to post about the house we're building because I'm super excited about it, but she doesn't want to move, but she does, but she doesn't, you know? So she finally posted about it. She had this great post about it. Anyway, so I post every once in a while about my kids or whatever, but then I'll just throw in something like, this is like the most expensive house, right? You guys probably all saw this. I shared it because why not, you know? Basically, it's like, hey, look, I have a family, I love my wife, and I'm in real estate. Those are my things, basically, right? So this is my brother. He's building a condo next to us. There's my oldest. This is about the real estate market. It says there are over 1,600 single family homes under contract currently, but only 300 on the market. That's down now. That's like 200, right? Like get ready for another crazy year. And then I got this GIF. Guess how much time I spent looking for that GIF? 10 seconds, right? Encanto, I posted about how I pretty much Encanto in my head every day, all the time, because my kids will listen to nothing else. Anyway, so I just post about different things that are in my life, and then every once in a while I throw in a post about real estate, right? Usually the rule is like an 80-20 rule, right? It's 20% real estate, 80% my life. But I post consistently and I make it very clear. I currently, like, I'm hoping to close on my 4th investment property. So I'll have 4 properties, not investment properties, 4 properties total by the end of the year. And I'm not like some guy that's raking in money. I mean, like, now I make more money than I've ever made in my life. But like a year and a half ago, I was making 50K a year, right? Like, that's not that much money, especially now. Like, now it's even worse. But like, there was one point in my life where me and my wife combined were making like 37. And that's when we bought our 37K a year. Like, we're not extremely wealthy people, but we've been involved in the market. Does that make sense? And so I posted about that the other day. That was part of that condo post ended. Was like, we're hoping to close on our 4th property this year, but like, we're not like Crazy Rich Asians. Have you guys ever seen that movie? I love that movie. Okay, good. I'm not racist, I promise. That's a movie. I'm quoting a movie. Okay. Like, we're not like that movie, right? But we still, because we know how to use time and how to use our investments to leverage themselves into other investments, we've grown exponentially. And I like this year, we will feel more financially comfortable than we have in a long time. And I want to tell people that because I want to help them do that with their own lives. Does that make sense? It's not because I'm trying to brag. It's because, like, I know a system. If you want to learn this system, like, let's talk, because I want to help people. Like, if I wasn't buying a house this year, I would probably be co-signing with somebody so that they could buy a house this year. Because I have 2 people that I'm really, really close with who their income is just 10K away or something like that, you know, from being able to qualify. Like, I would be that guy that would help them co-sign and then refinance out. It'd be really specific on who, but anyway. That makes sense? This is me branding myself. That's the summary of this. Okay, so brand yourself. You don't have to post on Facebook I mean, like, some people hate Facebook. Like, great, more power to you. That's just the avenue I use. Okay, let's go back to slideshow. Okay, so the rest of this is all showing you how to do stuff. Let's do that. Now, there are 3 or 4 things that I was planning on showing you. You tell me what you want to see. It's 11:50. Let's try to wrap this up in 45 minutes. That seem fair? And having some ahas after. So the one I was going to start with is email. I feel like email stresses people out the most because it's like, what do I put in a monthly email? You should have a monthly email, guys. I know that some people feel like email is a dying breed, but like, think of everything, every app you ever use uses what to create an account? An email, right? Email's not going to die. Like, it's not as effective, but you should have a monthly email. In my opinion, you should be consistent. The email is an easy way to do that. Then I was going to do mailers. Then I was going to do Facebook ads. Does this look like a good order to you? What do you want to learn? What do you want me to show you how I do things? Those look good? Just because everybody else thinks it's good doesn't mean you have to agree. Amy, I'm looking at you. Just kidding. Okay. Okay. So I am an enigma when it comes to email. You guys all use command. Who doesn't use command? I mean, you two are on red side, right? Okay. So you have your own emails anyway. But this can still help you. Besides command, everybody else uses command. Sorry, besides Boomtown. I like to use, I call it Strippo, but what's her face on red sign? Kaiten calls it Stripo, which is hilarious because I've always called it Strippo, and then I heard her say Stripo. I'm like, that's probably right. So, anyway, I'm gonna keep calling it Strippo because I've done that my whole life, and it's kind of funny. It kind of like catches people attention, like, what? What do you say? So I use strip mode because it's like super easy and super robust at the same time. So you can build out really complex emails in here, and you can import this email into command, which is really cool. So I'm going to show you that a little bit, but I have a class that I taught. What was it, February 11th? I think it was end of December. That will show you and walk through how to do this at a higher level. So if you want that, yeah, I think Shoni or Carl will have the link to that. It's just a YouTube video, okay? But when you look at emails in your own personal email, oh, I was going to do that. Hang on. What are things that stand out to you? Everybody go to your email really quick. Everybody go to your email. Open up your email. Look in your spam box or whatever it is, right? Bring up an email that catches your eye. First of all, think about subject, okay? And tell me things about that subject that caught your eye enough to open it that was important to you, okay? We're gonna take the next 2 minutes to look at your email. I don't care where it is. It could be in your regular email. It could be in your junk email. Like what catches your eye besides like this addendum is due. Like I don't want to hear about those, okay? Because obviously, like if you have to open it, you know you have to open it, right? But besides those guys, let's see here.
Emojis help.
Yes. Thank you. Emojis. Yes. Emojis. They make it pop out. That's not how you spell emojis. Oh my gosh. There's a J, right? That's hilarious. As soon as I wrote that, I was like, nope. That's not the right email. What else? Capital or uncapital? That's not right. Capital what? I don't think you, well, you can't bold a subject. I'm talking about the subject of the email. Yeah, your unread words will be bold. All right, that's not going to work. I won't be able to show you that. Sorry, guys. Okay, so in the subject, we've got emojis. I personally, let me be clear about something. Every marketing professional thinks that they know everything, and they really don't. So if you ever hear a marketing professional say, this is how it is, always take that as a grain of salt, because that's just how they see the world. Does that make sense? It's like, when's the best time to post on Facebook? I love that. It's like the worst thing ever, because there is never a best time to post on Facebook. It's always an opinion, right? Oh, it's right before lunch. Oh, it's during lunch. Oh, it's right after lunch, because then they're getting back to work. Oh, it's right before they're closing out the day. It's at 3 o'clock because they're just wrapping up things and they're starting to veg on social media. Oh, it's 6 in the morning because they're going to wake up and look at their phone. Like, okay, I can see valid reasons for all of those, but like, just post. Make sense? Be consistent. That's what matters most. Same concept here. So with capitalization, like every word in the subject. Does that make sense? With the first letter, the first letter, not the whole word. Sorry, that was super confusing. Yeah, no. You're not screaming at them every time, but you're not, like, lowercase is unprofessional, and you don't want to scream at them. So my happy medium is every word is capitalized in the front. Okay? Like, be consistent with it. So all of my emails look very much the same. We have the brand on the top, first thing they see, if they actually look at it, which sometimes they don't. Why did this not open? Let me show you I'll show you this email that we just sent out in February. So we got the brand on top, and then we have we have a subject, an eye-catching subject. Check out the 15-minute city coming to Draper. Does that catch your attention a little bit, right? It's like, what the heck is a 15-minute city, right? So then we have the subject, and then we have a picture. This is so important. Please don't put crappy pictures in your emails, but also please put pictures in your emails, okay? That's what's going to catch the eye attention. So I've got an illustrative plan thing, and then I've got text and a button. Usually that's my layout, is subject, picture, text, description, and a button. for pretty much everything I do. Okay. Subject, picture, text, button. Subject, picture, well, sub-subject, text. And then this doesn't have a button because we didn't want them to sign up from this email. But usually with an event, we'll have a sign up link. That make sense? Now does this look complicated to build out? It is, it's impossible. Don't try it. Just kidding. It's not. Well, this isn't the actual email. So if I click on this button, it will just show me where the link takes me. But if I were to go here, this is just our website's home valuation. Right? What's your home really worth? Find out fast and free. Enter your address below. Right? We just put that on every email, just with the hope that somebody will actually go look at it. Where was I?
You have a separate website for that, right?
I do. Yeah, we use Chime, which comes with a different website. But it doesn't have to be that website. It could be like if you're in Command, you can have them go to your regular website and take them to a property instead. And so instead of saying check out how much your home is worth, say check out what homes are going for in your area, and then just put Utah County. Does that make sense? Or Salt Lake County or something like that. Like you're just trying to get them to go somewhere that you control so that they can look around, because they see that and they're thinking, oh, I'm interested in real estate. Give them a chance to look at things, right? And explore options. If you send them away from your website, then you can't control what they look at as much. Does that make sense? Or have as much of a chance of collecting their info. Anyway, this might look complicated to some, but it's like every email that you get is built out very similarly. So let's go to NBA, right? This is an image with an image, title, description text, right? These are videos or something. Maybe this is just an image, actually. A lot of images here. But again, this is just a colored background with subject text. This is a terrible email. Like, I don't know where to look on this thing. But this is good right here, right? I mean, it's the same concept, right? Subject, picture, subsubject, description. Picture, subsubject, description. Picture, subsubject, description. Like, email marketing is not complicated. Just use the classic build that makes sense and that people can read easily. And I can look at like pretty much anything in here and it's very similar. Picture, subject, description, button, right? Zapier themselves. Any questions on this? You guys, you can build these. And usually what I do when I'm building out an email is I find something that's interesting to start. And I usually just Google it. Like just Google Utah County real estate, see what comes up. Did you know that they're building a terminal at the airport? Figure out information on that. Did you know that they're, like real estate is a pretty broad thing. There's lots of cool commercial buildings going up. There's different developments. It could just be like a community thing, right? A community event happening, right? You're the Utah real estate community-ish expert person. Is that specific enough? And so just give them good quality content that has to do with their community. Okay. And so where these links go is just something I just Googled and thought was interesting. And then I usually put a brief summary of what's going on in the market. This one is about appreciation, but usually I'll just put, this is how many homes were sold and how that compares to the previous month. Something like that, right? Super basic, okay? And then I always have upcoming events. Even if the event is 2 or 3 months away, I always have upcoming events. I always have the same order. And I was trying to get into SurveyMonkey, but we ran a survey to our SOI of like, what do you like in these emails? And the things that they like were market updates and market stats as number 1. Market stats / updates. And then after that, it was pretty much events. And then everything else was pretty low. So like really they care about what's going on in the market. Just give them an idea of what's going on in the market and just remind them that you're a real estate agent. What's the likelihood that they're going to open your email? Does anybody know in this industry? It's less than that, yeah. It's like 5 to 15, depending on I mean, like you can do better than that. Our open rate is like 40 to 50%. Depend for those who actually receive the email. But like industry wide, it's like 5 to 10%.
You've got what, 3 things on there? Take a bunch. You've all that.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Good. Thank you. That's another thing. Give them something to do besides just read information. Send them somewhere. Does that make sense? Always give them something to do. So on here, yes, every image is a link. Okay. Every image goes somewhere. So if they're accidentally scrolling through and they click on that image, it still goes somewhere. Usually it's my website. In this case, it's the article that this has to do with. Yes.
You track how many, did they click on all 3 of these things or all 2 of them?
So if I was using a more advanced email software than Chime has, then I would, but I don't because they don't have that. So I wish they did. I can track how many clicks I have, total clicks, but that's it. I can track the open rate and how many total clicks I have.
Well, you know if they filled it out.
I know if they filled it out. Yeah, that's true. I know if they filled it out, and probably on the back end, there's probably somewhere I can figure out how many visits I have on a monthly basis or something, but I haven't looked into that too much. But I'm less worried about that. What am I worried about when it comes to sending an email?
Not getting
Subject line.
spam.
Yes. Well, not getting, no, I don't even care if they send me to spam, because if they will send me to spam, at least I know that that's not a method they want me to communicate with them. Does that make sense? Like, that's okay. But you said, you nailed it on the head, right? Like the subject line, like I want them to see the subject line and think Josh, realtor, right? Oh, Josh is sending me more things about real estate because it shows it's sent from me and it has some subject that has to do with real estate. And I want that connection to click every month in their head. Even if it's just on their, they never open it, but it pops up and says, you got an email from Josh about real estate. That's it. That's all I need. Because I just need that connection to happen that I'm in real estate. And I want that to happen. What's the word? Consistently.
Also, these aren't big, long articles or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Very,
Very straight to the point. If they want to learn more, they can click on the plan. I literally have the link to the full PDF of this 15-minute city that's replacing the prison out in Draper. That's what that is. Yeah. So they're building a 15-minute city where hypothetically everything is within 15 minutes that you could ever need. It's pretty nuts. But and the whole framework plan, if my clients want to read it, they can click on that link and go at it. But I'm not going to put that information in my email. I don't care. So I wrote like 2 or 3 paragraphs, and that's it. Right? Super quick. Sometimes I've written sentences, a single sentence to describe an image, and that's it. That makes sense? Like, don't overthink this, guys. Is that good? Is this good information? Is this helpful? You feel like you can do this? You can say no. See, she's saying no. That's okay. You can. You can do it.
Find that the white space that
I personally think so. But like, again, like this is a marketing. Somebody has an opinion on this. It's not me. But
you get a black part background, it's very masculine, first of all, comes across that. And it's kind of trying to evoke some type of emotion.
yeah, I'm all about the white background with as colorful pictures as possible. I just want to be eye-catching, right? Like I want them to look at this and not feel like I'm drowning in black and darkness.
So you get a 40% open rate.
It's something like between 35 and 50. So I'm just giving you, it totally depends on the month. I think last month we got like 38. And then I think in December we got like 50.
Now,
And
what's
so
the click rate you get on the inside of there?
I have no
All
idea.
that.
I just get a total amount of clicks. So that could be one person that's clicking 60 times.
But you don't have how many actually fill things out then?
No,
Percentages?
no. That's the downfall. Like with your CRM, you can track all that. And like, if you're an email marketing professional, that's the stuff you want to know. Me, I'm just a real estate guy that's trying to get my name in front of them. That's all I'm trying to do. And I do care about the open rate though, because I want to know if only 10% of my people are opening my email, that's a problem, right? Because that means either they don't care about it and I'm wasting my time, or I don't have a good enough information that is catching their eye enough.
Well, emails, people are just getting tired of having
So many emails.
spam. And so a lot of times,
Yeah.
sometimes I don't look at my email today.
Well, and that's true. And that's true. And so that's 60%. A lot of those are probably that. But again, it's just about trying to get your name in front of them with something simple and automated. Okay. And you can set up plenty of command stuff that is automated. I mean, the neighborhood snapshot, right? You guys have all seen the neighborhood snapshot. Let's do it. Let's show something that is automated in command in terms of emails, and then we'll end with emails. That seem fair? Okay. So if I go into contacts and I go to, let's see who's in here. It's been a long time. Carla. Haha. Do I have an email for Carla? I mean, a neighborhood? No. So we're going to add a neighborhood. We'll do Orem North. Sweet. So I just added Carla to this neighborhood. Okay. Everybody saw how I do that? How I did that? I just literally said add to neighborhood. If you have their address in here, it will automatically add them to whatever neighborhood is within that address. And if they're not in the neighborhood, if their address for some reason isn't in a neighborhood, because that happens, like command's not perfect with neighborhoods, then you just add them to the closest neighborhood. You can do, I don't think so. Well, I don't think you can do zip code. It has to be like, if I put an address, then it might bring that over. Does that make sense? But the neighborhood is different. So then I just go to smart plans, add to smart plan. I want to do a neighborhood snapshot smart plan. Or, okay, monthly neighborhood snapshot. I can do monthly or biweekly. I'm going to do monthly. And this will send to Carla. She'll hate me. Hopefully. So it's going to send an email. It's going to delay. It's going to repeat an unlimited amount of times. I don't know why it's bringing up a Twilio account. It's weird. This doesn't have, it's probably just a default for all smart plans. But anyway, so now Carla will get an email about homes that are on the market in her neighborhood every month. Just like that. That took me 2 seconds. I just added her to a monthly email. So she'll see my name. She'll think real estate. Nope. It's just a template that's automated. Just brings in listings. That makes sense?
That's the smart.
That's the smart plan. Yep. It's called the monthly neighborhood snapshot. So like things like that, that's like the same concept, right? I don't think that's as valuable, but if you're going to do nothing, do that over nothing. Does that make sense? Super easy. The reason why I don't think this is as valuable is because you'll get a lot of people that are, whose mindset will be, sorry, this is killing me. I'm not looking right now, so I don't care about this, and they'll unsubscribe. Does that make sense? So if your email is less threatening and not just sending houses over and over again, then there's less likely chance that they'll unsubscribe. Does that make sense?
It is not very often. So.
It is once a month, so that's much better. It's not like a MLS hot sheet or something.
So set yourself up on it, see what you think, because it comes out every.
Oh, I've got, yeah, yep, exactly, yep.
I like doing it. But, okay. So
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's just like an interesting little note.
And what's your frequency of sending those out?
Me, I don't do that. I don't use command, and so I don't send out. I just create a monthly email myself on our team. But if I was using command, I would probably do that. No, I do it once a month. Yeah, once a month. You don't really need an email more than once a month, especially if it's just like a basic standard email. Like this is just what's happening in the market. Like just do it once a month. Any questions? Do we feel good about emails? Should we move on away from emails? I'm getting different vibes in different faces.
What would the more advanced email program be that would track that other stuff?
Well, probably your best bet is MailChimp, honestly. Because MailChimp will track individual links. It will track each user that opens it. MailChimp is like built for email campaigns. Yeah. I mean, like Triple can do video. Usually like a video thing will just be like, in their email, they'll have a YouTube link. Does that make sense? BombBomb does it. And like you can build in like the code of it so it plays it in the email. And I think Strippo probably can do that. Oh my gosh, this is killing me. But like, I don't know. Yeah, probably. You can probably. I know for a fact that MailChimp can do that. So I don't really love video, but I'm like old fashioned. I feel like I need to get more into that. I know, but the younger kids aren't buying houses. I'm an old soul, I guess. I don't know. I just like if I'm in a working, okay, I'm going down a rabbit hole. All right, we're going to leave this rabbit hole and we're going to go to mailers. Okay, so campaigns is going to be your best friend when it comes to automated systems. Campaigns and smart plans, okay? So if I go, oh, that's not campaigns. Whoops. There we go. So if I go into campaign, I can create a campaign and I'm going to do a direct mail campaign in Command. You guys are going to love this. This is amazing. Let's say, for example, I have a client who's looking in a specific neighborhood and they just cannot buy a house in Cedar Hills for less than 900K. It's just impossible. Like everything goes in like 2 days. And so we got to find that kind of house. So we're going to do Cedar Hills. Actually, I don't know the zip code for Cedar Hills. So we're going to do Highland. And we're going to do attract. No, where is it? Attract listings. Everybody following my mindset here? Did you hear what? We're good? Adrian, are you listening? Yeah, exactly. Content, you can build this out. You can do your own template or they have their own template. I'm just going to use theirs for this example. Even in design, so if you go into designs here, you can build out templates in here. This is kind of like a version of Canva, if you guys have ever used Canva. That comes with Command. It's pretty awesome. So if I go in here, I'm going to put the text as we have a buyer looking to buy in your neighborhood today. This is not exactly the text I would use, but something along those lines. It'd be pretty similar to that. And then a description, I don't know what I'd use for description. We're just going to put language here, just in case. And then a photo. Best practice in this scenario would be to go to not Pexels, but to go actually on the MLS or find somebody in our brokerage who recently had a listing in the area. So it looks like a house that would be in those neighborhoods. Does that make sense? You don't want to just put a random house on here. You want to have something like you want someone to see that picture and think, oh, that looks like my house. Does that make sense? But for the purpose of time, we're going to go in here and you can text agents, right? You can look up houses. This is a good house. This is a pretty good standard house that I like to use. In fact, if you just take a long look at this house, just soak it in for a second, and then watch ads on Facebook. It's freaking everywhere. Everybody uses this house. Okay. Yeah. Since I told you. Yeah. Now you know. So I've just ruined all your lives. Now ads won't have the same effect on you because you'll see the house. You'll be like, that's a Pexel house. Anyway, so we got that house. We're going to go back to our campaign. We'll upload it into here, drag and drop. There's my information, Market Center, KW Westfield, verify address. It's too long. That's why we changed the name. That used to be our full name, KW Westfield Keller Williams Real Estate. We had to write that on every single thing. And then bless Dean's heart, he changed it to KW Westfield. So everybody go give Dean a hug today and say, thank you, Dean. Just kidding, don't do that. Confirm address, an invalid mailing address. Oh, that's why. What the heck?
You got north and north.
Oh, wait, 998 North, 1200 West. That's what it is. Thank you. There we go. Confirm address. Sorry, what did you say before I got distracted?
No, I hadn't heard any actually officially changed it. That's good. Like,
Oh yeah, it's official. We didn't make it super public because people already have signs and stuff. We don't want to like stress them out, but anyway. Okay, so where are we going to target? Let's pick an address in Highland, 6068 West, 9800 North. That's my mom's house. That's why I picked Highland. 84. Okay. Okay, and let's say we want to do, it doesn't really matter how many. Because we'll change that later. Any questions up to this point? This is all pretty standard. Okay, that's not the cool part. That's the stupid part. But now, let's go to configure targeting. We're going to create this campaign. Now we can get real specific, okay? So let's say the house we want is anywhere between 4 and 7 bedrooms. Come on. So we're going to target the closest 860 houses. We're going to make sure they're all single family. We want the bedrooms to be anywhere between 3 and 6. We don't need anything bigger than that. Square footage, we need at least 3,000. We don't want a tiny house. I mean, like your house is not small if it's less than 3,000. I just realized that. My house is less than 3,000 square feet. But if you're buying in Highland, you probably want something bigger than 3,000 square feet. Year built, I don't really care about that. It's probably not going to matter. Last year sold, I do care about that. I don't want it to be sold within the last 4 years or 5 years. Does that make sense? Like, do you see how cool this is? I just targeted the closest 800 houses that fit all the specific criteria that my client has. And now for $500, I can email all of them or mail all of them today with a customized mailer through command. No one's like, wow, that's amazing. Dang. Let me tell you, yes, thank you. Let me tell you applications, open houses, right? The closest 50 houses to your open house. Hey, we're having an open house. It's a neighborhood only open house for the first hour of the open house. Please come by and check it out. And they come, and guess what? Then you're having that conversation of, we're selling this house for this much. Just think of what we could sell your house for, right? So on and so forth, right? Open houses. You can do this for, I mean, like the buyers is what we use this mostly for, especially in this market, right? Or if you're just targeting listings, you want more listings, target a specific area and say, hey, this house just sold for blank amount in your area. Contact me if you want to know what your house could sell for. Things like that, right? This is really cool. And you can target houses super specifically through it. If you do it before 3 o'clock, it goes out same day. It will go out today.
It's not printed though.
It will print and go out today. Yep. It will be in the mailbox for UPS, USPS to deliver or to start shipping today. No, so let me rephrase that. It will be shipped today. It won't be delivered today. Yeah. No, this is not a Utah company. This is a KW national company. So it'll take, yeah, I would say 2 or 3, but it's, yeah, if you're doing an open house, you should do all of your marketing. Let's say it's on Saturday, the Tuesday prior. Does that make sense? So you got ads running on Tuesday, you've got mailers ordered, whatever it takes.
What's the cost per card?
This one is 60 cents. Depends on what size of card you do. So it's $550 for 860 cards. Anyway, and I can even go and be super specific. I can click on this one and I can remove it. If I'm like, oh, that's Dean's house. Boom, it's gone. Schedule.
You want to get 3 days for delivery.
I bet no, you can't. So this says 4 to 6 business days. Yeah, it just does it and sends it out. Yeah. You can save it as a draft and then send it when you're ready. That's true. Good point. Yeah, no, and then you forget. Yeah, that's the trick. Anyway, any other questions on the mailer side? Is this helpful?
I always have tried to put a card myself in there so that I know when it's getting there.
Yeah.
Kind of a confirmation.
It's true. And sometimes when these print, they have like little smudges on them occasionally, you know, things like that. It's just the nature of the business. When you print 800 cards, you know, something will probably be wrong with a couple of them. One time we had one that printed through and it was printed, double printed on top of itself to a client. You know, those things happen. You just You get that one text from that one client and they're like, what the heck? And then you panic and you're like, did this happen to everybody? And then it didn't, then everything's okay. So just know that that happens sometimes. Actually, that's only happened once to us.
And you go, let me come out.
Yeah, and you got to touch, exactly.
So when you make out the postcard, you go,
Let me come out and look at that. And
Yes, that's right.
while I'm looking at that card, would you like to know what your house value is worth?
Yes, exactly. Yes. Actually, that's happened for a few things. What just happened? Have I not clicked for long enough? Oh, that was weird. Are we good, Zoom? We're still sharing our screen? Okay. Zoom, you're welcome to throw in questions if you have them as we go too. Okay. So we talked about,
Do you guys send out cards? What are the cards you guys send out?
we send out cards. We don't always do it from here, but especially if we're doing like, we're looking for a specific house, we have a buyer. And Peter has like a very specific script that he likes for that. Peter is like the script master. So if you want a script idea, go talk to Peter. But that's usually what we do it from command for. Now we do other things like we use a market dominator from Prospect Plus, I want to say. Yeah, I think it's Prospect Plus, which is another mailer. And that's what we send to his farming area. It's like this big sheet, has a bunch of stuff on it that they make. And it's like $1 a sheet or something. Can't remember. But anyway. Okay. Facebook ads. Do you guys want to cover Facebook ads?
Yeah.
Or are you all feel comfortable with Facebook ads? Okay. I feel comfortable with Facebook ads, said no one ever. I am the same way. Okay, let's go back to campaigns. Sure, we'll save it. Okay, so we're going to create a campaign. We're going to do a social ad this time. Now, take a note. Two things have to happen. What do you have to be able to run Facebook ads? A business page, not a personal page, a business page. Now, I don't care if you never use that business page. That's okay. But you have to have one in order to run Facebook ads. It might even be possible. I don't know this, but you might be able to create a private business. No, it probably has to be public because then you're going to, yeah, because you're going to run ads off it. Anyway, so create a business page. Deck it out a little bit, then go into here, go into your settings. Some of you might have already done this, but in case you haven't.
Hey, Josh,
Yeah.
can you share your screen?
Oh, did I stop sharing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it glitched out for a second. Let's see here. Get rid of this. That's participants. Where'd it go? All right, is that better?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so after you create your business account, go into here and connect them here. So I'm in settings and command. So I just went to my name on the top, went to settings, and you're gonna scroll down here and there's two places in your settings where you got to connect your Facebook business page. Ads manager, that's the one we'll use. Post scheduler, you can schedule posts into the future. That post automate, like you could take a week and build out for 3 months worth of posts, like once a week or something, and just schedule them there. That goes on business. Everything goes on business. You can't do that to your personal. Yes. The post is just a regular post. The ads manager is to run ads through. Does that make sense? So you can post to your business page from command. And this gives permission for command to do that. Any questions? Feel good? Pretty straightforward. Okay, let's go back to campaigns. All right, ads are very similar to emails. In fact, why don't we take just a second and go to, have you guys ever noticed how many ads pop up in your Facebook? Oh yeah, it's because we're doing our job. So at any given time, out of every 5-ish posts, one will be an ad as you scroll through. So let's test it. Ready? So here, I'm just on my home page, right? I'm just in my feed. So as I scroll down, let's see how many are ads. There's Taylor's Boy. Boom, ad. It's my own ad. That's hilarious. Nothing, ad. No, that's not an ad. I thought that was an ad. So you know it's an ad if it says sponsored, right? So I think most people don't notice this, but so many of these are ads and not posts. That's an ad, right? It's like every 3 or 4 or 5 scrolls is an ad. Does that make sense? Like you guys and everybody else are bombarded all the time by ads. So your job right now, what we're going to talk about is getting your face here instead of all these other guys, like this just did for us. Look at this giving us a shout out. Oh, this is not a real ad. It's because I'm an admin. It's showing me what the ad would look like if I decided to run it.
Where'd you get the videos?
So we pay a company like $300 a month to make these videos for us, and they post them every other day on our business page. We literally do not manage our business page at all, and we just have this company just post videos for us because we don't really use our business page, but we
They're
want to.
doing- So they're doing 15 a month then, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
we pay like $300 a month. It's totally worth it.
So that's like $20 an ad.
What's their name? Reach? I think it's Reach. I can look at it. Do you want me to leave this and look at it? Is that something you guys are, no one, you don't care enough? You do care enough?
Here's my big question.
Oh, so we pay like $300 a month or something like that. I can't remember exactly. It might be more than that, but they post as many videos as we want, and they'll just post videos for us, and every video will be different, and it will be something about real estate. Yeah, and so we can choose to do it every day. We can choose to do it twice a day. We can choose to do it every other day. We do every other day. That makes sense? Yes.
And after you finish the Facebook, would you just kind of show us where all these leads come in from? Because obviously it's one thing to get your name out there, but it's another thing to actually have people respond to your stuff and say, I want more information or whatever.
So you're talking about prospecting. That's where prospecting comes in, right? Because we are prospecting based and marketing. That's what I'm looking for. Enhance, yes. In fact, let's write it down so that we don't forget. Goodness, we are already forgot. So here's the pyramid scheme that we're in, right? Just kidding. That was funny. Thank you. We are prospecting based. Oh my gosh, my handwriting is so bad. And then marketing enhanced. So everything we do in marketing is just a bonus on top of our prospecting. And that's where your point comes in. I'm not going to talk about prospecting today because this is follow up with leads. This is like you're actually making phone calls. You're actually trying to get now business from these people that your marketing brought in.
You know, some of those, they touch the button for the call to action and they filled out their name and so forth, they wanting more information.
Yep.
And but it's not all coming to one location in command. It's
Yeah. If you build this ad out in command, everything will go into command. All the lead source information. You can even have them automatically placed on a smart plan immediately upon clicking on your ad.
and does it send you a text or something that somebody just called in?
Sends you an email, I think. Yeah, I think it's just an email. It says this person clicked on your ad. I know text is really complicated though, but that's a different conversation. That's when I was the director of tech conversation that I don't want to have right now. Enter a campaign name. What should we run an ad about? We've got 10 minutes to run this ad and then be done. Seem fair? 10 more minutes. Let's do this. Okay, what do we want to run an ad about? Do you want to do an open house ad? Do you want to do like a buyer general ad, seller general ad? What do you want to do? Open house? Any other opinions? Okay, so if I was going to do an open house ad, I would just put an open house. Oh geez. By the way, none of this matters. Well, this is for your reference more than anything. Like, no, this is not public, what I'm doing here. Open house. So I would probably, for my own reference, we'll say, let's see, does Peter have an active listing right now? I think his Provo is still active. We'll try. We're going to advertise a listing. Yep, because we're doing an open house. Where will your campaign run? I'm going to run it on Facebook only. I don't want to run it on Instagram right now, but you can choose to.
Are you done?
I wanted it.
Do you want it?
It's okay.
You Really?
No, you want it for that,
Okay,
that
test prep.
the test prep class. Yeah, he'll need it more than I do.
You're doing a class right now?
There's a test prep class. Yeah.
Is anyone in the second night needing test prep or are you all licensed?
No, don't take my people.
What?
Don't
No,
take-
it's not starting till 1.
I'm just kidding.
You'll be well done and over.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. Okay, so when I clicked on create the ad, it brings up all the listings that I have as an agent. Check it out, guys. Look at my glory. Yes. Just kidding. So I can switch that to all listings, and then I can search by property address or by a listing agent. I'm just gonna put Peter in here because he will have, oh geez. And the funny thing is, it doesn't matter that I put Peter Merkel, it still has all kinds of Peters in here. So let's see if I can find.
Yeah, you don't want to advertise somebody else.
A lot of Peters, but not a lot of Oracles.
Yeah, oh, it's because it's active. So it probably went under contract. Let's see if this changes it. I don't know how well these other statuses do. So I'll do all statuses. Yeah, I don't think our MLS brings it in if it's not active. Okay, who has an active listing? Clay's got to have one. But is it under Clay's name? Okay. Why is this having such a hard time? Does anybody have an MLS?
Yes, 179,
Okay,
1010.
there it is. Yeah, we'll use Taylor's. Taylor actually will have an open house on Saturday, huh? So it's actually relevant. So Taylor just did this flip. Taylor's my brother-in-law, which is funny. I don't know if you know that. I married his sister. That's why when I first had the very first slide, if anybody noticed, I was first the director of lead gen for the Frampton real estate team, back when Taylor had his own team. Good times. Anyway, now that I've gone down that rabbit hole. So on the main copy, usually what I would put for an open house ad is the information of the open house. Open house this Saturday from 10 to 1 p.m. Well, actually, I wouldn't say that. I would say open house for this incredible flip in Orem this Saturday from 10 to 1 p.m. Maybe not flip, maybe like renovated property. Newly renovated property. Something like that, right? And then headline, open house this Saturday. That's literally all I would put. Description, I won't need the description later, but for now I'll just put, just test. But when I go into Facebook settings and I actually say, well, actually, let's go back to here. Configure, you can add more than one picture if you want to do a carousel look.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different opinion on whether or not that's best.
Do an outside one.
I would do an outside one as well. So I'll probably throw in those two. Okay, so now I've got two pictures on here. Do you see how that test is there? Notice how when I select my page, so this is my business page, it goes away. Because at first it's required. Like the default is for it to be required, but because I'm posting into Facebook, it's not required anymore. I don't know why it does that, but anyway. Okay, button label, learn more. I pretty much always do learn more, unless it's a class ad. Does that make sense? Like I'm teaching a first-time home buyer or an investment class. Then the website URL. What's the best practice for your website URL? Yes. Yes. Go to, this is a, go to your website. So in my case, it would be petermorkel.com. And then find your listing in here, which we'll just pretend like it's this one. This is already sold, but whatever. Copy this link, which is too long. So from here, and paste it. But don't put double HTTPS. Perfect. That makes sense? Why? So you can capture your own leads. Yes, you don't want to send them to the MLS because what do they do on the MLS besides just like look at other houses and who knows what agent will pop up there, right? Like you can't control that scene. You can control this scene. All of you have a website by being a KW agent. There are plenty of videos to make that, but make sure you do that. Custom settings, usually I won't do much here. I'll just leave it within 20 miles of Orem because I'm just trying to get it in front of as many people as possible. I don't want to look at first-time home buyers or anything like that. Configure, auto tag. So this is the cool part. So when I get a lead from this ad, I can auto tag them. So I could do auto tag as a Facebook lead. I think that's in here from back in the day when I taught these classes. Facebook, I'll just do lead. Okay. So I can auto tag them as a lead and then automatically add them to a smart plan, whatever smart plan I want to. So I could have an open house smart plan that says, you know, it starts with a text. Hey, thanks for looking at our open house. What's the best way for me to reach you in the future in case you have questions after the open house or something like that? I don't know. I don't know what that would look like. But you can create a smart plan, have them automatically added. If I don't want a smart plan added here, you have to put one. What I usually do, pro tip, is I put a birthday smart plan because you're never going to have their birthday information on this lead, so it won't do anything. Does that make sense? If I'm like, I don't really want to do a smart plan on here, I'm just going to put a birthday smart plan because that's like a default smart plan, so that doesn't do anything. Everybody following my logic here? Because I don't want the smart plan to do anything, but command requires me to choose something. Yeah. And so I'm going to save it as my birthday because why not? And then I can pick how long, and then I just hit publish. And just like that, you have an ad. Now here's a couple caveats. First of all, this will post tomorrow. Facebook ads will never post the same day that you publish them on command. If you do it in Facebook, it's different. But in command, because we've got this special agreement with Facebook where they don't monitor and disapprove our ads, which is cool. They require a full day. Well, at least until the next business day for it to start running. So if you've got an open house on Saturday, don't start making this on Friday, right? Or even Thursday, because then it'll only run for one day. Do it like on Tuesday, like we've already talked about. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
I'm not sure how many people actually put information for a open house. So, unless you're giving them something else. To attach like a PDF.
Well, that's the thing is when they click on this ad, it takes them here, which gives them all the information about it. Does that make sense?
Oh, and it automatically picks up their info from Facebook then.
Well, you can choose for it to do that. Like if I go back here, I didn't cover this. Thank you for calling me out on that. So my default, the default is for Facebook to automatically generate a form before they go to that website. Does that make sense? So as a default, Facebook, they'll click on the ad and a thing will pop up and autofill with their information from Facebook. Does that make sense? And then if they click through that, then it will take them to that website and it will send you that information that autofills. Does that make sense? So if I go to, well, yeah, anyway, really quick, what's missing in this ad? Well, it's got a headline. That's actually a good point. I probably should have an action here that says like click for more information. Emojis, that's what I was looking for. This is a very boring as it stands ad. I would add like 1 or 2 emojis, like maybe a fire emoji and a house emoji or something, like this is a hot house, you know, or something like that, right? Just something to catch their attention, maybe star eyes right here. Open house this Saturday with some star eyes, right? Yes.
The other thing is, lots of times, less is more. We always realize that there's certain things you would not include if you're putting into, I mean, you used to put it in magazines and stuff like that in the old days. And you wouldn't, if you put the price.
Yeah, never put the price.
You wouldn't put the address. If you put the address, you wouldn't put the price.
Yeah.
Or you'd leave out how many veterans there were, because you wanted to give them a motivation to call you.
Yeah.
if they were in.
Yeah, I would never put a price in the ad. Make them click to go see the price. Because that will make most people click. Just that alone. Any questions? Has this class been helpful? Okay. My office is pretty much exactly where Rob is sitting, 2 levels up. So if you ever have questions or something, I'm in my office a lot. Come find me. I'd happy to, I mean, like, even if it's like, hey, will you just take some time and we'll sit for 10 minutes and build one of these out because you don't want to do it yourself, or an email or whatever it might be, like, I'm happy to do that. We have a culture here, like we want to help each other. So if you need some help, let's chat, let's make it happen. But thanks for coming. That's all I got.